Record. Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our May online lunch and learn session. We are delighted to have Julia with us today. And it's not Julia's first time facilitating lunch and learn sessions. She does such a fabulous job. We have her back. Julia is the founder, the CEO of Successful and Smart Business Coaching, where she helps business owners kind of make their way through the mud, so to speak. If you have self doubt, she can help you erase those. If you're overwhelmed with all the opportunities, she helps you streamline those, zone in, and create a focus for yourself. She helps clients with strategy, especially around organizing your time and energy, attracting new clients, and boosting your revenue. She really wants people, business owners, women, and I'm sure she works with some men too, reclaim their life, work harder, work less, work smarter and not harder. Sorry about that. So, welcome, Julia. We're super excited to have you here today. And of course, if there's anything that I have forgotten to mention, please take a moment now and introduce yourself and share a little bit more about what you do.
No, you did fantastic there. Thank you so much, Christine. As usual, Christine, just the work that you've been doing. So just watching you, like it's almost 10 years. Can
Crazy.
you imagine? Yeah, and
I'm
the same
five.
passion that you have for it. And then seeing some people here. So nice to see you, Valerie. And Celeste. Celeste was my client in 2015. That
Oh,
was
amazing.
a very long time, right? So it's just and welcome everyone else who's on here. It's I don't take that for granted when I see entrepreneurs here doing this because what you're doing is not easy. It's hard. And you can give up, you can feel like sorry, I'm trying to screen too. Okay. You know what I did? I moved to Google Meets. So now I Zoom wants me to make friends with it. It's like I'm not gonna
I'm
share your
sure.
screen until.
I'm sure we all have this love-hate relationship with technology. We know we need it. It definitely helps us, but some days it just
Ah,
doesn't, behave.
right? And in my mind, I'm like, it's so nice and smooth. Instead, it's like, nah, no, I'm just gonna make this hard for you. There we go. Okay, let me know if you can see my screen.
We can see your screen.
But better yet, what screen are you looking at? The one with the presentation?
Correct. It actually has the thumbnails on the left-hand side, and then so you're not in presentation mode. So it's your
Great.
PowerPoint slide deck, and we can see the thumbnails on the left.
All right. And now?
Yeah, now we can see the slide deck in presentation mode.
Okay, excellent. And you don't see my notes, right?
I don't see your notes. I don't think anybody else sees your notes. Anybody?
Okay.
Okay.
Wow, so smooth, I tell you. Well, welcome everyone, and thank you for being here. So this session is called How to Prepare and Track Revenue Goals That Aren't Overwhelming. And I mean that sincerely. We're not here to talk about accounting, QuickBooks, year-end reporting, or anything that makes your stomach tighten. We're here to talk about one thing, knowing where you stand in your business. That's it. By the end of this, you'll have a clear picture of what to track, why it matters, and a free tool. Don't you love that? That makes it almost embarrassingly simple. Okay? So let's get into it. If you can see a slide with a notepad on the left, put your hands up, please. Excellent. Okay. So take a look at what's on the left and be honest. How many of you have something that looks like this right now? A notes file, a text thread with yourself, random numbers in a calendar. I've done that text thread with myself and even WhatsApp. So here's what I want you to hear. This is not a discipline problem. This is not your bad at money problem. This is a structure problem. Nobody taught us what to actually track. Not in school, not when we started our businesses, We were handed software built for accountants. There's so many versions out there in the market. And all of this is not for a woman running a solo business who just wants to know if she's on track. So the software isn't the problem. The spreadsheet isn't the problem. Not knowing what the numbers mean, that is the problem. And that's what we're fixing today. So these two images, I want you to really look at them. On the left is the calendar version. You've got dollar amounts carted across days, stickers on the big wins, dashes where nothing came in, and then, some total at the bottom. I've done a version of that one. Yep. And on the right, the notebook version. I've done a version of that one too, where you have dates and sources, amounts crossed out, circled, question marks. That's not disorganization. That's effort, real effort. You were trying. You just didn't have a container that worked. So paying attention, which is what you're doing, that's the hard work. And we're going to give that attention a better home. I want you to write this down if you're a note taker. Am I on track? That is the only question your numbers need to answer. Not, what's my profit margin? Not, what does my QuickBooks dashboard say? Not, what's my year-over-year growth? None of that. It's just, am I on track? Am I on track? That one question, answered clearly, changes every business decision you make. Whether you take a new client or take a week off, whether you raise your prices or run a promotion, whether you panic or pivot, everything flows from knowing the answer to that question. So if the question is, am I on track? What numbers actually answer it? We're going to look at 4. The revenue goal. This is the number you decided your year was worth. So without it, every month feels like a failure or a surprise. You've said it once, everything else measures against it. I'll go into that later on, okay? How to set those goals. What you actually made. Cash collected. Not invoiced. Cash collected. Not, I have a payment coming in. This is money in your account. That's the number that tells you the truth. The gap. This is the distance between those two. The revenue goal and cash collected. This tells you what to do next. Not panic, just act. And then your expenses, because revenue is only half the story. Profit is the other half. But knowing what came in means nothing if you don't know what went out. So these 4 numbers, that's the picture. Now, most tracking tools, they assume that you have someone else whose job it is to look at the numbers and then report back to you. Like a bookkeeper, an accountant, a CFO, a business manager, finance manager. But if you're in this room, there's a good chance that that person is you, you know? And you don't have hours to spend in software or a spreadsheet. You just need to know, 3 things when you open it. The goal, what did I decide this month was worth, right? Like, so how much am I making this month? And then what I made, what actually came in. And then the gap, how far am I from where I want to be, right? So that's the system. One look and you know everything you need to know. So this is what it ends up looking like. So you see, this is the before and this is the after. So you see the same data, right? On the transactions on the left, they're scattered across that calendar. And on the right, we have the goal, what actually came in, and the gap. Not a single number changed. But look at what happens when you have the right structure. You get to see in January, you are over your goal. February, you are under it, and by how much? March, you are over your goal. April, you are under your goal. May, you're still working on it, right? So on the left side here, you have no idea because you just have numbers on there. You have no idea. On the right side, you can see because you have clarity. You can see where you are and you can see how you're doing and how it's going on. So I'd like to talk about the gap for a moment because I know some of you are thinking, I don't want to see the gap, right? You don't want to see that red number. You don't want to see that you're 2% of your goal and you don't even know how you're going to make up the rest of it. I get it. But here's the reframe. The gap is not bad news. The gap is information. If the gap is small, you're close. One extra conversation, one follow-up you haven't sent yet, one referral ask, that could close it this month. If the gap is large, something needs attention. Your offer, your pipeline, your pricing. Now you know. You can do something about it. And if there's no gap at all, you hit your goal. That's good. The question is, did you set it high enough? So the gap isn't the problem. Not knowing the gap, that's the problem. The gap is information. So let's talk about revenue. Now, these are all tabs which, to be honest with you, like the images you see, these are all Google Sheets. The difference is I prettied them up, right? Like just went and changed the colors because I like pretty things. The expenses tab is because revenue is only half the picture. I say this to clients all the time. You can have a great revenue month and still end up with very little if you're not tracking what went out. And it's unfortunate, but I've seen it. I've seen people make money that a previous version of me would have been like, wow, you're making that much? That's all you need in life. You're fine. But when I looked at what was going out, I back then would have been in a better position. Because if you're making a lot of money and that money is all going out, and in fact you even owe, then what's the point? What's the point? All you did was give yourself bigger money problems. That's what you did. So you've got to track expenses. So an expense tab is simple. You want the date, the category, what it was for, right? So that category, the amount, and then HST, basing in Ontario. And this is Google Sheets. You can make HST calculate automatically. I'll show you all that a little down the road. So the categories, make them a drop down. So you pick, you don't have to type. So if you look at this example, you have $851 in expenses from the different things and the dates. So this is the month of April. And you have your HST and you have your total. So it's one tab and you have this clearly. If CRA ever wanted to talk to you in the future about some of your numbers, you've been keeping track of them. Now, this is a tab that most people skip. And a lot of people, including here, they use CRMs or they rely on them, right? They rely on CRMs. For me, I feel that this tab is actually the most powerful. Consider that your pipeline is a number 2. It's also a number. So every person you meet at a networking event, on Instagram, at a coffee, is a potential client. But if you don't write it down, they disappear. Life gets busy, you forget to follow up, and then 3 months later, you're wondering why your revenue dipped. So this tab is simple. It's who you met, where you met, your following up, and, your status, where things stand. So we have just connected, warm, became a client, circled back later, make it real simple. Revenue gaps, we've looked at gaps. They almost always trace back here to the conversations that went quiet. The pipeline tab makes sure that those conversations don't remain quiet. Okay, so someone's gonna ask about, Honeybrook or Dubsado or a CRM. So I'll go there right now, right? A CRM is a great tool for a different stage. When you have a team, now I'm saying this as someone who's been using a CRM even without all this, but this is what I mean. When you have a team, you have dozens of active clients, multi-step workflows, absolutely. When you have the capacity to also do the CRM stuff, which is its own job. But right now, Google Sheets is free or Excel, one of those, whatever your tool is. You already have it. It opens up on your phone in seconds. There's no learning curve, there's no subscription, there's no setup call. So I'm not saying never get a CRM. I'm saying don't buy a tool for the business you're building to Word when you haven't got a handle on the business you're running right now. So start here and grow into there. Okay? Now, whatever you're currently doing, I'm not here to tell you it's wrong. I'm here to show you what works alongside it. So if you have QuickBooks or Wave, keep it. I use QuickBooks. I've also used a Google Sheets tracking tool for a number of years. So, one's for my accountant and overview, the other, the tracking sheet is for me. And they do two different jobs. If you have a notes app or a calendar, you're already doing the work. A spreadsheet is just a better container, one that can actually show you the gap. And if you're not tracking at all, well, this is the gentlest place to start, Open it, type in what you made last month. You already know more than you did 5 minutes ago. If you're feeling behind, don't, you're not. You just haven't had the right structure yet. A sheet doesn't judge how long you took to find it. So I created a Google spreadsheet that captures all these important numbers that I've just talked about. And I called it the money map. So it lets me and my clients know at a glance where things lie in their business. So even though I use QuickBooks Online and I've used HubSpot for over a decade, I rely on my spreadsheet for my weekly and monthly financial health check-ins and to see how I've been doing over the years leading to 2030. So this is a Google Sheets template that I've printed up and input the formulas and drop down menus already, so you don't have to. And I'm just going to walk you through the sheet tab by tab. This one is called the North Star. Okay, this is the big picture. This is where you enter the revenue goal for the year and you enter it once. Now, when you put in your revenue goal, everything else, what you've made, the gap, the percentage to the goal, all of that calculates on its own. And it runs all the way to 2030. So it can give you your trajectory over time. I like seeing the trajectory because what it's helped me do over the years is see my incremental improvements. That's what it's allowed me to do. One of the things I love about the spreadsheet is that you can get so much information just in this one place that really allows you to feel in control and you have data that you can use. Now, when you open this, it answers the question, am I okay? Am I okay? That's really what the North Star is supposed to be. So the second tab is the monthly one. So that annual goal, it's broken up automatically for you. And then what you made at the end of the month, you put it in. Now, what I do is I don't wait till the end of the month. I put it in as the money comes in. But it's however you do it. Now, the reason why I put it in as the money comes in is because I've learned that when you keep things for a certain date, then you're just creating work for another day and you're creating work to push into something else. You're creating projects. Whereas if you can take those 2 minutes, pull up your phone, input that number, then that's done. That's done. And if you make it a habit, it's something that you're eager to see. You're happy to see. And this helps you see the gap. This helps you see the gap. Are you hitting your goal? Are you not hitting your goal? Right? So then this answers that, what am I looking at? Because you're looking at the cash collected. And all of this feeds back to the first screen it feeds back to the revenue goal. So you're not touching anything here. You're just observing. This really is telling you this is how we're doing. So the third one, expenses. Remember, we got to track these down. So I did create it so that it's a drop down. So you have your home office, software, networking, women's groups, travel, coffee, meetings, marketing, such things. You're not typing, you're just picking. And the HST calculates automatically for you. It also calculates meals and entertainment. We only get to claim 50%. So this automatically calculates it for you. Now, if you are dealing with a different province, and you want to play around with the formulas, knock yourself out. But please don't. Just learn how to use the tool before you mess with it. But the point is you can change the figures. But you want this so that again, you're keeping track. Now, this is also important, and I'll come to it in a moment, okay? Pipeline, remember? So your connections tracker. For people, a lot of people they'll use like a CRM, like HubSpot, or some will use their MailChimp, whatever it is. But really, I want you to use the tab that says connections. Plug in, the person where you met, notes, follow up, what happened. Because when you go to your spreadsheet and you look at this is the one that tells you where you're sitting and who you could potentially call. So you have someone here, Denise. This is someone who contact dropped off. So it's one of those where you can be like, oh, you know what? Let me just check up on Denise and see how she's doing, right? Because this tab is where you find the follow-ups you forgot to send. And often that's where the next client is already waiting. So bringing this all together for you, you're working hard and the money's coming in, but every month feels like a guessing game. You don't know if you're ahead or behind until something goes wrong. Very reactive. It's not effort or lack of effort, and it's not the tools. It's the missing structure. So the three numbers that tell you where you are. And what I found to work for me and clients that I've been working with, and I've been doing this for over 10 years, is a Google Sheet and 4 tabs. And that one number that you fill in each month, meaning how much you made, and everything else calculating. And what this does is it allows you to see the gap. It allows you to see where you are and what's going on. So to be honest with you, it's not really about the spreadsheet. And I want to leave this with you. It's about what that knowing does for you. So when you know your number, you stop making decisions from anxiety. You stop refreshing your banking app, hoping the numbers changed. You know what's real and you act from there. So when you track consistently, you catch the slow months before they become a crisis, and you use the information. So, a red month or month which is red isn't a disaster. It's information. It's telling you what you need to do for March. It's telling you what March needs to look like. And when your revenue, expenses, and connections, they all live in one place, your business starts to feel like a system you run, not a situation you're surviving. And this way you own your numbers and no one else gets to tell you if you're on track because you'll know. Now, if you're wondering about your revenue goal, like how to set your revenue goal, well, the um the free tracking sheet, it's called Money Map. It's free on my website. It comes with
Julia,
a full guide. It shows you how to plug in your numbers.
Julia, quick question, Julia.
Yes, yes.
So that sheet you just walked us through and showed the tabs, this is how we get it?
This is how you get it.
Okay, awesome.
Yes, 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 yes.
I love if I may comment, I love
Yeah.
the simplicity of the pipeline. I don't currently have a pipeline, but I need one because people come from everywhere. Like
Right?
I'm so active on social media, they're coming from like 6 different platforms. And sometimes I'm like, I know she asked to speak to me about XYZ, but where the heck did she where the heck did she say that? typically conversations don't happen through email anymore. And maybe it's just me because I'm so again active on social, but it's
Mhm. They happen everywhere now. Things are
yeah,
different.
yeah, yeah. So I like
You
the
know,
simplicity of
yeah,
that pipeline.
thank you. You know the CRMs, they have a place, okay? Like Salesforce, name it. Um, what I found was they were built really with enterprise in mind, not really like the small businesses that we run now. So even the pipelines, I wouldn't be able to have a connection with them. Like I would go and I would read, they would say, fill this out or even like the wording that they would give you to use in the emails and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, my people won't buy this. Like they're gonna read this email and it's just not gonna land. I'm sorry. Like it's just this is not the way it works. People reach out to me and it's so informal, like they're like, hi, so and so told me to reach out to you, and how do we proceed?
Mhm.
But then the CRMs don't have room for that. So I would end up creating all these Zapier links to link, my CRM to this, to that, to the other, and all of that. When the simplest thing I could do is just go on my phone and just click the drop down and choose Instagram. And then what it would do is it would inform me for the following year where to place my focus. So out of all the different social media accounts that I had, I ended up focusing on LinkedIn and Instagram. I am on Facebook because of the demographic, but really, my active sites are LinkedIn and Instagram because of the data that my spreadsheet gave me.
Where you
When
were
I
getting
followed the money, I was like, what are you doing on YouTube? What a waste of time.
your
So it's like, yeah, no. And I'm canceling all these different subscriptions I was using to maintain all this social stuff around. So
yeah.
it's the data that it provides. So, the beauty about it is you download it, if you use Google Sheets or Excel, whatever the case may be. And if you don't know what number to plug in for the year's goal, I do have two suggestions. The first one is calculate how much you've spent already in your business, double that amount, and then make that your goal. And the reason is to cover,
Sorry, could you please repeat that?
yes, yes, yes. Calculate the expenses, how much you've spent on your business already from January to now, double it, and make that your revenue goal. That's one suggestion. So what this does is we're looking at you making your revenue goal breaking even, or at least covering what you spent on your business. So for a lot of people, you're spending more than is coming in. Make what you've spent the revenue goal. So go back, fill out the expense tab, take that money and double it because we're not yet at the end of the year, and put that in your revenue tracker. The second one is if you've brought in money, take that average and double it and make that your goal. These these are really simple revenue goals. The thing about the coaching industry is they always want you to aspire higher and think big, right? But very inappropriately, I would be asked to aim for $120,000 in like my first year of business when I don't even have a customer and no clue where I'm gonna get more. And then by the second month of having nothing but zeros in my calendar because I didn't have any money, I'd blame myself. But when I started making money was when I got real and said, okay, how much have I spent so far? All right. That number is already quite substantial, to be honest, right? Because you're paying for all these different things. Okay, let's make that the goal. So working toward covering that helped me see that I was taking care of the expenses and I was training myself to use the business to do what a business is supposed to do. A business is supposed to pay for itself and pay for you. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Sorry, I'm still a little bit going back to that pipeline discussion.
Let's go to the pipeline.
Yeah,
Yes.
I am using QuickBooks, so I am doing some tracking, but I definitely need better understanding of the expenses because there's a lot going out.
I
But
hear you.
I do want to focus on pipeline because I feel like that's my biggest advantage right now, or biggest
Mhm.
opportunity, pardon me.
Mhm.
So this is your pipeline tab. So you have the name, the where we met. Okay, any brief notes, follow-ups. So in the follow-up dates, these columns, there's no reminder. So it's about me going in and can I like sort it in ascending or descending order so that I can see who I need to follow up with in this month
A
or who I missed follow.
100%. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
A
Awesome.
100%. And if I'm not wrong, it also changes colors when you do. Um, here's the beauty about this, okay? Um, you know what I do with my spreadsheet? I feed it to AI and I tell it to
Awesome.
analyze it. And then it comes back and it tells me these are the people you need to focus on,
Oh, yeah. So here's
right?
my
Because you're
challenge.
giving it something it can read.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. I use AI for so much. Holy moly. Yeah. So here's my challenge. Remembering, oh, I got three pings today. Remembering to
Yeah.
put it in the spreadsheet. So
Yeah.
it's a matter of like also time management. Like maybe before I end the day saying, okay, think back.
Yeah, so I have
Yeah.
Tuesday and Wednesday, 8:30 to 9. I have would give it fancy names and then finally I'm like, just call it what it is, prospecting.
Yeah.
So
Totally.
I have that in my calendar.
Okay.
Yeah, and the reason why I chose that time is I said choose a time when you're doing something pleasurable. So because I do a lot of things on my phone, and because a lot of these things happen on the phone, I can be having my coffee and I'm on the phone and I see this calendar reminder. So I'll just go to my spreadsheet
Okay.
and then,
Yeah. So you've blocked your calendar to intentionally do this, not just the follow-ups that's there, but I'm actually talking about writing it down, entering it into the system. Okay, it's a me
I see
problem.
what you're saying. Yeah, yeah,
It's a me time
to
management
actually put it
issue.
into the system.
Yeah.
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 You have a business manager, or not a business, but you do have help
Well, I do have help. She's my Facebook group manager. She doesn't help with the other side
this
of my
thing.
business. She
Yeah,
helps with sending out all the reminders, following up with people when it
yeah,
comes to the membership in the MAWB community. But I
yeah,
also run social media management company and I do social media training. So I
yes,
actually, in reality, I have three kind of businesses or streams, and then I
yes,
have charity community group. So
yes, yes, you do.
yeah, so there's a lot going on there.
Yeah, yes, you do. Um,
So actually, would it be okay if we just ask the others, are you ladies in the group? Maybe we can just stop share for a moment so I can look at them
oh
or have,
yeah, please. Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah. So, ladies in the who are on this call, are you currently using any kind of software? Like Julia mentioned, are you using Wave? Are you using QuickBooks? Are you using anything right now to formally track your revenue and expenses? Or are you using a Google Sheet, something similar to, or are you using paper? I guess I just wanted to ask the question. What are you using?
I'm using Julia's spreadsheets.
Okay, awesome.
I'm
And
using Excel, but I
They're
might switch
easy.
to Julia's.
sorry, Kathy?
I'm using Excel right now, but I might switch to Julia's now.
And Helen, is your client management software, your CRM, it's not tracking revenue expenses for you, is it? Oh, she may have hit
No,
this.
Dubsado doesn't.
No,
My
okay.
husband uses it for his accounting firm.
Okay, so Dubsado is just for pipeline. It's just their client database. Okay. And how about Celeste? Are you using any formal?
Well, I'm using Google Sheets and paper, but I need to switch to Julia's pipeline. Do you mind sharing it in? Because I'm trying to put it on the link and it's not coming up when I put it in Google.
Oh, maybe she can paste the link into the chat box.
Yeah,
If you
Helen,
don't
Helen, I
mind.
will. Mhm.
I'm back, Christine. I'm sorry. I had to quickly answer a phone call. So I've been using Dubsado for a number of years. It does my pipeline, it does all my expenses, it does all my revenue, it does my tax reports.
Oh, so it's
I
an
initially
accounting
had,
and CRM.
yeah, like I initially had QuickBooks and I canceled that because I needed like the financial piece, and I needed a pipeline of just where clients were coming from. So I could list them as, just as Julie was saying, whether it was Facebook, Instagram, referral, and
Okay.
whatnot.
Okay.
Um,
So you
it's
told
changing so fast. Like I
Mm.
find one of the hardest things, which I like about what I like about yours, Julie, is the simplicity. So Dipsado, I think it's on
Are you
version
using
3.
2.0 or 3.0? We're using 3.0 for my husband's firm.
Yeah, I'm using 3.0 and I go back to 2.0 all the time because I was used to 2.0.
That's right.
So I see that they are rolling out updates literally it's even more than weekly, it's daily.
Yeah.
The one thing I do like about it is they're very responsive. So if like one of the things I was having difficulty was, so I do monthly payments. And like I'm not the salesperson. I'm very good at what I do, but I was terrible at asking for money. And so it's automated all of that. It sends them reminders. It reminds them if it's past due.
Oh, you
Um,
mean your invoicing. It does your invoice.
Invoicing. Yeah,
Okay.
What about your
invoicing.
prospecting, right? So you can send out messages and whatnot.
Yes.
Um, I guess is your clientele more traditional? Because if you have people come to you through social media, these CRMs are still not up to date with that. They're still
So
not
what
up to
I
date with.
I agree with you. So what I do is when they're coming in through any Instagram, whatever it may be, Facebook, LinkedIn, is I have a form. And so in order to initiate, I have an intake form. I have a parent questionnaire. So I work with families as an education consultant. And so what I did, because it didn't have that, Julie, is I made up forms to collect all the data that I needed. The school, the grade, what are their expectations? And that is what, when they initiate a contact through any social, because I couldn't keep up. I'm like you, Christine. They were coming in from, "Hi, my neighbor mentioned to speak with you." And so what I initiated with using Dipsetto is using the intake form as, "I'm really happy to start a conversation if you don't mind." It's a fast one, just so
Mm.
that I get their contact information.
Yeah, you
Because
get their
that's,
email and then you can put it into your client contact database.
yes, yes.
So, yeah, so does that system then also have nurturing? Can you put in an email sequence? So if they said to you that they're interested in Instagram, then I could tag them with Instagram, and then I have an email sequence which gives them some Instagram tips and tells them about the next Instagram class. Is that
So
something
you
that
build your own workflow. Like I have various workflows. I have a workflow that's for a like a I have different classifications of parents. And yes, you build in that sequence. I have to say, Julie, if you mentioned your husband's using it, it can become very complex. So I did have what are called the Dupsado expert. Like I
Mm.
had a consultation with them. This was maybe 4 years ago, and they put together based on my
Yeah.
needs.
You see,
I
with my husband's firm, um, I'm his absurdo person. And then I trained and then I trained the assistants. So that's what I mean is CRMs are awesome if you have people to do this. And then
yes.
for him, you don't go tell him, oh, check. He wants to see the final picture. That's what bosses want to see is what am I supposed to be looking at? What do I need to know? But if you don't have that person, then you end up with, right? Like Christine's example, you probably is sitting on at least 5,000 people who need to be put into a worksheet.
me? Hell
Ah,
yes.
yeah, you know?
Hell yes.
Yeah. And people
So
who it's not about, oh, look at all the money I'm gonna make. No, but it's these are people who actually would have wanted to hear from you. because they were interested in that information, but it's not always that the algorithm is going to show them that something is
So
happening.
one of my funnels is the MAWB Facebook community.
Mm,
And believe it or not, just last year is when we started asking the question, what is your email address? Prior to that, we
yeah,
had 3 questions and we were just kind of vetting them and letting
good
them
to
in.
go. Yeah,
But since then, we've been asking, like, you want in, you got to give me your email address. So
yeah,
that we add
yeah,
them to our email mailing list. And then, of course, they can unsubscribe. We tell them, right? But so that's one way I'm capturing information from people. And I'm sending out
yeah,
email. Generally speaking, I'm sending out email weekly, but that's not enough. Like the
yeah,
personal conversations, I'm losing those. If I go to a networking event and meet like 6 people, the one that's hot, what I would consider hot, that's the person I'll follow up with. The other five,
yeah,
like life gets in my way and I forget about them, but they
yeah,
could have easily been, invited to join the group, come to their networking event, be my guest, come to training.
yeah, yeah. Oh
Or, hey, do
man,
you know
yeah.
anybody who?
Um,
Yeah. So it's
yeah.
anyway, it's my challenge, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to derail the discussion on numbers.
No,
So
not at all. But I'm thinking, because it's tied to that, right? So it's not, it's a capacity issue for you, right? I mean,
it's a no issue.
if you could cut yourself into 50 different people,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
don't have this problem.
Yeah.
This is where if you can accept 2 co-op students who are doing the business management program.
So here's
I
my
did that. So
yeah.
Yeah,
I've had 2 summers, 2 co-op students, and they helped a lot. And they were great. They wanted the experience. I paid them. I got a grant to help with their salary.
exactly.
How
Uh,
did you get the grant? Because I'm not a not-for-profit.
no, no, neither am I. Neither am I.
Yeah.
Sorry,
There's,
ladies on the call, we're going in a way different direction. I
oh, so sorry.
apologize.
So
Valerie.
pipeline, very important. And if you start from that one number that you put in for the year, you'll end up filling out the pipeline because you'll be forced to go there because you'll be thinking about where are my opportunities to for this gap. The gap becomes really obvious because when you put in the number for the year, it breaks up into monthly goals. And when you're looking at the monthly goals, you're thinking, okay, so I need to bring in X amount of money, X amount of money. So where will this come from? So that's when you go and you find yourself putting in the information in the pipeline, slowly but surely starting to build it. That's what I've found helps. The gap really pushes quite a bit because when you see the gap, it tells you, oh, okay, I can start working on this, or I know exactly who can close this gap here.
Well, I absolutely loved what you said earlier when you were talking about the gap. You said maybe it's just a few extra phone calls. Maybe it's
Yeah.
EMs and DMs. And it's so true because I'll tell you, with running events, if anyone has not run an event before, it is challenging AF, okay? Getting people to actually commit and register before giving you, the organizer, time. Like I've had events like mock meetups where we've had 50 people at the event, but 2 days, 48 hours before, we've only had 8 registered.
Yeah.
And so we
Yeah.
ended up with 50 at the event. And that is because the hustle and the reminders and the PMs and the DMs. And it's challenging to get to yeah. I definitely need some better systems in place. Even with Laura and my VA sending out reminders, it's that I'm finding it's the personal touches where I'm like, hey Helen, how are you? How's your back? You're recovering from surgery. Have you started your gardening? That. And then, oh, by the way, MAWB Meetup coming up. Oh, thanks for the reminder. Yeah, I got to sign up, right? Do you know what I mean? So,
Absolutely.
yeah, anyway, so the pipe
I hear you.
a definite.
The other cool thing I did is I I created code like a relays. So whatever I do for like the sign in forms and all of that good stuff, I send the information to the sheet. I send the information to the sheets. So using Zapier,
Oh,
you can do that,
I used Zapier a long time ago.
and
And
then you let it go.
yeah, I let it go because then I went back recently and it was like, going to be $30 a month. And I was like, Hang on a second.
You can make it, I know it's up there in price. And every
Yeah.
time I would go there and I'd think, ah, I don't need you anymore. And then I'd look at the zaps. I'm like, okay, let's keep it moving.
Right? Because like I just explained to you, a recent event, I spent almost an entire day doing personalized PMs to get to the
When,
number.
yeah,
When if I
yeah,
had, yeah,
yeah.
anyway.
So I do that. And then the other thing I do is, um, okay, this is actually going to be recorded. I got rid of my CRM because I was like, this money that I'm paying to reach out to people who are like dead weight. A lot of people will love free, and then the world takes them away. Why am I paying a monthly fee for this? So instead, I set up my Zapier to send them an email automatically. So when you opt in, so I set up my sequences using Zapier.
Mhm. Okay. And what's your email?
And
What's your email service provider?
I'm with Google Workspace.
Okay.
And because it sends the information to my Google Sheet, I'm not losing that information. And then I also set it up that if I put up, say, a sale in the Google Sheet, that it sends a receipt from QuickBooks because you can make those different
You
connections.
are a smart
I am
lady.
something else.
You are a smart lady. I can't tell you how burdened like I have my website, so all of the events go through there. Once they get the receipts automatically, they get added to
Yeah.
my MailChimp database, and then I go to MailChimp and send out the reminders, right? So that's great. But there are still some things that if I get, let's say, my bigger clients that are coaching clients,
Mm.
I'm sending them an invoice from QuickBooks, but I'm not
Yeah.
letting them pay with credit card because it's
Hmm.
very expensive. So
Yeah.
they pay through PM, but I got to go into
Hmm.
QuickBooks and I got to mark them off as receipt and maybe add them to things. So there's definitely a lot of little things that I'm doing that are
Yeah.
taking up my time
Yeah.
um, that should be spent
That's
on.
what I did. I did all these automating things because again, I was like, unlike my clients and other people, I don't have people to do this. It's
Yeah. Yes.
me.
Yes.
Even when you're excited about getting that new client in the back of your head, you're like, okay, I have to send that invoice. Okay, I have to da 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 da. That's time.
Yeah.
And I
That's
have a screaming baby who's sort of like letting my husband know that he's not good enough.
But one day he will be, and you'll be sitting there going, "What about me?
I
What
know, yeah, the
about
toddler.
the
The
way
toddler is all about daddy now. And I'm like, I carried you. I fed you. Okay, that's good to know, son. Good to know.
Thank
Good
you
to
so
know.
much, ladies, for having this discussion with me and talking, talking about your processes and procedures and the things you're doing and the things you want to be doing. And, I think we all have that giant list of, oh, life would be so great if.
If I
But
know.
but
And
you,
but yeah, these are
yeah.
just some of it. And can I tell you, it gives me a 98% profit margin when I got rid of all these different things.
So, okay, I was one final question that doesn't have to do with the numbers, but it kind of
Yes.
does. Zapier, I
Yeah.
saw that if I was going to sign up for it, it would be
Yeah.
$30 the base price. But the more you use it and the other apps you connect, does it get higher and higher in pricing?
So the base price covers you for 750 tasks,
Okay.
and then it renews every month.
Okay.
So what will happen is, say you hit it somehow. 750 means, say you hit it somehow, it'll pause until the following month unless you upgrade it.
Okay. Put in your
So
token or something.
yeah, for me, I have the multi-steps. So like I'll have someone sign in, like when I get this money map, an email will be sent out to them, an email will be sent to me letting me know that someone's signing in, and an entry will be made um into my spreadsheet. That's all on one Zap.
And so you have workflows. So my question was, is there different price points?
No, I just pay for the next stop. Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah,
like,
it's like an engine that's never fully utilized because people just think I'll just connect QuickBooks to say Dubsado and then that's it, right? Not realizing, So can I tell you, like my Google folders, I go in and I'm like, if you receive an invoice, go into Google Drive, create a client account for a folder for them with the name and everything, do this, do this, do this, do this, all the administrative stuff. That's what I do.
I would love to do so much more touch points with clients. For example, if someone registered for an Instagram class, they're getting a confirmation message. But I would love to send, hey, so excited, just saw you registered for Instagram. Can't wait to see you
Yeah.
on the date.
Zapier.
But I
Yeah.
don't have time to sit and do all of those. But I would love some Zapiers to do all those fun things. Anyway,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
the personalized little touches
Yeah.
that
Christine, you just need to hire me and I'll get you sorted.
Oh my gosh. Well, we'll have to have a coffee.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have a coffee with Helen too. I want to know more
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
the
And Julie,
grants.
I'd love to talk to Julie a little bit more, but it'll be offline too, because I think you sound like you've simplified a process that helps you with your profit
Yeah.
margins, which is always the biggest
Right?
challenge.
Yeah. And also because who has time for these things? They're very annoying.
So Helen, guess who's going on her pipeline spreadsheet when we're done this call?
Oh,
Awesome.
I know.
Okay, so we have 3 minutes left. I want to respect your time, and also I have a coaching client at 1 o'clock. So I asked you to stop sharing, but maybe you want to put the share back on and let us know if you have a commercial or an offer. I know that you have the spreadsheet or you have
Yeah.
the landing page up for the Google spreadsheet. Maybe you can put that back on the screen, and we
Yes.
can let our ladies know where to find that.
Share. Okay. Um, okay. So you can see this, successfulandsmart.com.
Okay, and it's on free resources.
Yeah. And in free resources, you're looking for the money map. Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So could you do me a favor? Could you just send me a screenshot and I can
Yeah.
include that with the recording?
Okay. So the screenshot for this one, right?
Yeah, for the money map, a Google sheet that you introduced us to today and gave us a quick overview of how it works. If you could send me the screenshot and even the link, then I can send it along with the recording so that ladies know. Yeah, the ladies know they can grab that. Is there anything else you wanted to share with us before we finish up our call here?
To speak with me, my calls are 150 plus tax. That's all you need to know.
This girl keeps it simple.
Right?
There you go. I love it.
And if you ask my AI agent on my website, she will hook you up with how to do that. So I do sell digital products. I make them custom made for companies, and I created a sales agent on my website to do that work for me.
That's amazing. Oh, and Helen's reminding me to do a group photo. Let's do that. If you are on the call and you would like to, if you could just stop share, Julia,
Yes.
if you would like to be on the photo, we would love it. We did lose a couple people, but that's okay.
Let
All
me, yep. Can I
okay.
drop the screenshots in here?
Sorry. Oh
Can I
yeah, drop
drop the
the screenshot.
screenshots?
Okay, everyone give me a 1, 2, 3 smile. Awesome. Well, what a fun call. I love the value, the information. I love the interaction, right? This is something we don't get a lot, especially as solopreneurs, being able to just bounce ideas off of one another. You can get that sometimes at a networking event, but it's a different vibe. So it was great to have you, Julia, and share, and you smart, zappy lady, you. And ladies, thanks very much. I'll send the recording and the email. I think you have Julia's contact information, but I'll include that in the email that goes out again for anyone who wants to grab that. And I'll just say, hi, Valerie. So nice to see you. And Valerie is a client of Julia's, which is wonderful. Yes.
Julia,
Okay.
you've been awesome. Like you just
Oh, thank you.
bonked me on the head going, yeah, maybe I should reconsider. But you're right. Everything is about what can save me more time. And also like almost predict what I need to know.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Can I give
Thank you so
Julia
much.
a testimonial? She's been through all kinds of things and she's found like the best, most simplified way to do it. So we don't have
Yeah, I love that. Okay, ladies, I am so sorry that I have to go.
Yes, yes, you do. I sent you the screenshots are in the chat.
Perfect. I've downloaded them as well.
Okay.
So have a magnificent day, everyone. Do your due
Thank you.
diligence
Thank
and
you. Thank
follow
you.
up,
Thank you.
and we'll see
Thank
you
you.
all soon.
Thank you so
Bye-bye.
much. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.